Well, actually, I need to let you know, I haven't read the ruling yet because we just found this out about 10 minutes ago. But I think the key point here is that we don't have a ruling on the constitutionality of Initiative 960, and I still believe it is unconstitutional. Unfortunately, the court decided that the case was not properly before them, so we still don't have that ruling. I think that's disappointing. On the other hand, I don't think it really changes the outcome of where we're headed in this legislative session. Hello, Brad.
Hello, sorry.
More chairs.
Would you elaborate on that? It doesn't change the outcome of where we're heading this session, did I get that right?
Yes, I don't think it has any immediate impact on the process that we're going through in the legislature right now to address the budget crisis.
Meaning you were planning on a public vote anyway?
Well, any major revenue option would have been presented to the voters regardless of how the court ruled. I still ultimately would like to see a path to have the constitutionality of 960 ruled upon, because I do believe it unnecessarily ties the hands of the legislature in making routine legislative decisions, such as the liquor surcharge bill that was the impetus for the case.
Do you think you might try to challenge it then in a different way?
I don't have any plans to do that. I'll read the ruling and we'll go from there.
Who paid the legal bill for that case?
There was a coalition of people. I'll have to get that for you because I don't actually have it in my mind right now.
So does this mean, in your view at this point, if you try to even close a small tax loophole, you have to go to the voters? Anything you want to do related to fees, taxes, any changes, small or large?
No, I believe the initiative still makes a distinction between a tax and a fee. Fees, user fees, and Lieutenant Governor has ruled on that distinction. Fees can be brought forward with a simple majority. But taxes, or the closing of tax exemptions, require a 2/3 vote or a vote of the people, no matter how small or how large, or what the reason is for wanting to make that adjustment.
So if you were going to go to voters anyway, you probably maybe didn't want to win this case right now?
Well, no, I wanted to have the constitutionality clarified, and I would be content with whatever the decision would be on the constitutionality. But it is a little, it's disappointing that the court did not take up the constitutionality question, because I think that still now is an open question, and it's not clear how that gets brought in front of the court, since they said this was not the appropriate route to go.
I can show you.
Well, this is essentially, I think, what, the third attempt to get before them? And they keep saying, gee, you didn't do it quite right.
I didn't really know very much about any other attempts, so I can't really comment on that.
Well, if you were Lieutenant Governor, could you maybe rule differently and then force it?
Well, no, I think that the Lieutenant Governor ruled according to what he believed the law is. And I believe that is the law as well. The nature of my case is the law constitutional? And we don't have the opportunity.
So you passed the increase, notwithstanding the ruling of the president, and let the other side go to court. I mean, isn't that how you would have to do it?
I believe what we would be, I'm not sure this would lead us to court, but I believe one of the things that was put forward was that I or another member of the Senate could have challenged the ruling of the Lieutenant Governor. However, we take an oath of office to uphold the law, and that would be putting, I believe, my members at risk to ask them to, because again, I'm not challenging the law, I'm challenging its constitutionality. I don't want to break the law, obviously, or want any legislator to do that, but so I think it's a bit of a catch-22 for the legislature.
So again, you agree with Idaho's interpretation of current law?
I believe that the law states that it requires a 2/3 vote to raise taxes.
You said that any major revenue option would have been presented to voters anyway. This liquor tax was about $20 million, give or take. And is that what you consider a routine action that the legislature should be able to take care of here?
Because the liquor tax had been in place, and it was a surcharge, and
Right.
it expired, and because of the economic crisis we're in, and the funds were going to be dedicated to things that are probably on the chopping block right now, like drug and alcohol treatment, yes, I think that's the kind of thing that could have been brought forward this session.
For you guys to handle by yourselves?
Mhm.
Without further go.
Yes.
Are there others you could identify within that category, as long as we're on top of it?
Not at this point, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they would emerge. People are looking for ways to solve the economic challenge that we have.
It looks like you're going to agree with the constitutional amendment presented by Senator Ciarelli on this extraordinary revenue fund. You passed out ways and means, and you seem to be supportive of that.
Yeah, I signed on to that. I don't know that we've decided whether or not we're going to bring it forward to the floor yet.
Is there a reason
It
you
would, it would strengthen the rainy day fund, which, I was the sponsor of, I believe in the rainy day fund.
Is there a reason you wouldn't bring it forward?
Well, we haven't caucused on it yet, so I don't know yet what the level of support is in the caucus.
Given that you're still, I'm sure, waiting for the caseloads and the March 19th forecast, where are you today compared to last week at this point on what information you have to work with on what taxes or revenue ideas you might take to the voters? Are you getting anything from the outside? Is there anything come in? Are you getting any responses to your requests from departments? What do you
Well,
got?
we're not looking at tax and revenue options right now. We're still looking at how to make reductions throughout state government. Good thing that's happening is that the House and Senate is meeting and working on major pieces of the budget, and as we make decisions, we hope to be able to release those as we go along rather than wait until the actual release of the budget. So that right now we're starting with what I call the architecture of the budget. So how much we leave in the rainy day fund, what we assume in terms of are we going to be modifying the pension contributions, those kind of big numbers that then move you towards what kind of reductions do you need in different areas, education, higher education, health and human services.
Sounds like a change. You're saying we might get someday information about here we are with education or criminal justice, here's our plan for where we cut.
I hope as early as next week we can start making clear. One of the things we've been trying to do differently this year, because this isn't like any other year, is working together cooperatively between the House and the Senate. You might have noticed that the House passed the transportation stimulus bill. We picked it up right on the fly, is how we call it, and passed it in a bipartisan way in the Senate. We had previously negotiated the projects that would be in it. We've tried to be doing that as much as possible. And we're launching that with respect to the budget as well.